Welcome to this episode of the You Two Scare Me podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Andy.
And I'm Felice, and we are coming to you from Key West, Florida.
We have been participating in all the festivities this week.
Yes. I'm tired.
Me too.
I'm like, man, Bill and I hosted 2 events this weekend, and one is like a big party, takes a lot of planning, and then we do a holiday like train ride where we go around looking at the lights, and it was kind of stressful because he overbooked it. So I was already stressed and trying to figure that out, and then it was raining all day, and the forecast looked horrendous. Like it looked like it was going to be torrential downpour. So that was kind of good because some people sort of like flaked out. So it worked out with the numbers on the train. Both of the trains were full, and then the weather was it was fine. It was like a little sprinkly, but it wasn't too bad at all.
It did rain.
It did rain,
yeah,
but it wasn't a torrential downpour.
No,
like
it could have
we were
been
expecting.
Yeah, it could have
been
been
way worse.
When we came home, Ryan was soaked because he was taking layers off to give to the kids.
Yeah, and you guys were in the front row too,
right? But we still had a lot of fun. It was just like a little with the rain, and then some. So the way that it works is like it's sort of an open air train thing that drives around the island.
It's a tour train during the day, but then they rent them out during the holiday season to look at the Christmas lights.
Right. And so, they have a route and they ring their little horns or bells. And a lot of times, people open their doors and wave, and sometimes there's treats and things like that. It's really sweet.
Yeah.
But I think because of the weather, a lot of people turn their lights off. Didn't come out.
It was a little smaller scale.
It was, yeah. But it was still really fun.
Yeah, it was fun. We got to hang out with our friends and stuff. So
yeah,
it was good. Next year, we're going to have a more concrete process for RSVPs so that I don't have to stress. And it's funny because Bill was like not stressed at all, which made it even harder for me.
Right.
Like, why aren't you worried about this? What are we going to have to kick people off?
I told Felice, I was like, if you need people to fall out, we will.
Oh, I was like, oh, me too. I was like, I'm right behind you. But no, it worked out. It was fine. It worked out good. Yeah. And the other party was really fun.
Yeah. No, that was super fun. 2 new elves arrived at our house. Snoop on the stoop and Martha on the mantle.
Oh yeah, it's good to have a lot more eyes watching.
Yeah, that's what the kids found out. We said in addition to our 2 elves, these 2 must have shown up to keep an extra close look,
even closer eye.
And then I said, well, I think that Snoop is watching Daddy, so I don't know.
Oh, that's so funny. Oh my gosh,
but that was a really fun party.
It was fun. Yeah, we had a good time.
So, but now Ryan and I were just talking about this, and he said, when we lived elsewhere, I didn't feel like it was such a crazy busy time. I felt like we had a few things and we got to go on little dates or to like this party or that party, but it wasn't like these several weeks with events every night.
Yeah.
He said, what changed? And I said, well, we have children and those children are older now.
Yeah, you added 2 new social beings into your household.
When they're babies, like they don't have their own stuff going on. It's just our show.
Yeah.
But now they have their own friends, and those friends have things and activities, and we're not quite at the age where we just kind of send them away.
Yeah.
You have to go with them and the school shows and all that kind of stuff. So everything just kind of our social calendar exploded this year.
It can be a bit of a grind. You have to remember to keep a positive attitude. Keep remembering that, like,
'tis a season to be merry.
Yeah, like it's a jolly season. Keep smiling, But it's hard. It is hard as moms, to like keep the magic. Too. You're in charge of all the magic.
That's what I was gonna say. I feel like every Christmas since becoming a mom, I end up crying at some point. But it's not always. Sometimes it's because I'm stressed and overwhelmed, and I'm trying to make sure that everything is so amazing and magical. Yeah, and then nobody quite remembers to make it magical for me.
Yeah.
So that's one. Felisa's always giving me these life tips where she's like, it's okay to say no, and it's okay for this, and it's okay for that. And I really appreciate those little tidbits, and then they like replay them in my brain during those hard moments.
Yes, I was telling her no is a complete sentence.
And so I'm working on learning that no, but also I have like extreme FOMO because I love parties. And so I'm like, oh man, what if the one that I say no to is the most fun party? Yeah. And then
there's nothing more fun than being in your bed. Sorry, I live by that. Nothing competes with being in my bed. And so it's very easy for me to say no.
Noted. But I think too, for me though, one of the things that makes me all emotional is every time when I'm with my kids on Christmas, in my brain, I'm like, they will never be this little again.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then, I'm going to start crying just thinking about it. It's just like, hold on to every magical moment,
Yeah. Yes.
And
It's
anyway,
hard. They do grow up too fast.
but it's still, we're in the trenches a little bit still, but it's fun, and it is magical. And
You just have to remember, okay, it's hard right now. Make sure you have your boundaries and stuff, but then also don't get swept up in all the go, 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 go. Do what you have to do to enjoy it with your kids because, like that's the most important thing,
I think we learned shortly after we were married that we cannot please everybody at the holidays. And so we need to kind of make sure that we set our priorities and, we figured out what's going to work best for us. And now that we live so far from our families, things have shifted a little bit, and I'm sure they'll evolve and change again when our time here is done. But it is really hard.
It is really hard. Yeah. And we, as a military family, we moved around a lot. And we finally had to be like, we're dragging these kids everywhere. The least we can do is let them wake up in front of their own Christmas tree. And so anyone is welcome to come visit, but we're not traveling at Christmas anymore. It's too much. It's too hard. And, they want to be home and they want to be playing with their friends at a certain age,
Right.
So, but every family is different. Every family needs to do what they got to do. But that's one cool thing about being away from the big family. Like you really solidify your little nuclear family and you're really close. You know what I mean? Whereas I think you can be really close with your big family too, but it's pretty cool to like, we're all we have right now. And so like you really have a tight knit family,
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Well, to keep the festivities and the holiday cheer going, I thought we'd play a little game.
Okay.
All right. Just respond with your first instinct. These are not hard questions. There's no judgment.
Okay.
Okay.
Ready.
Here we go.
Okay.
Favorite Christmas movie?
Love Actually. Have you seen it? Don't say no.
Yeah. I've seen it.
That's my favorite.
Why?
I just love it. I love the soundtrack.
Okay.
I love the part where like the with kids the sign. I love the part where the kid dresses up as a lobster for the Christmas pageant. I don't know. Everything about it is like a little weird and a little cool, and I like it. Okay. And everyone's so young and hot in that movie, and
yeah.
The only one I don't like is stupid Snape.
Yeah.
I know. I love him. Alan Rickman. I love him as an actor, but his character, boo.
Yeah, he's the worst. I feel so sad for his wife.
Sometimes it
makes me so angry.
Oh God! Every time I hear that song about that Joni Mitchell song, I'm like, oh, Snape.
Okay, picture this. You're getting cozy.
Yeah.
Are you gonna put on socks or slippers?
Slippers.
Yes. Okay. Favorite Christmas cookie?
I love a Christmas cookie that has frosting that's like a cute shape.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Star or angel on top of the tree?
Oh, I actually have a Santa hat. I had a star, but it's too heavy, so it's like, So I'm like, I'm not fighting with that thing anymore. On my brand new Christmas tree, I put a Santa hat. It's so cute.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, but we always had an angel growing up. Always.
Same.
Yeah.
And we actually had an angel for all these years, and then last year she broke, and so we had to scramble, and we got the last star at Home Depot, which is what we still have.
I like it.
But the kids were like, "Where's the angel?" And we were like, maybe we'll get a new one.
Get a new angel.
Okay, ready? Last one.
Yeah.
Red or green? Lightsaber.
Green. Not red.
And the reason behind this is
Yoda. Obviously.
I thought you were going to refer to the giant Darth Vader are the proud owner of.
No, he has a candy cane lightsaber. Well, I think he has a red one too. So he's holding an ornament in one hand and a lightsaber in the other hand. You can switch out the lightsaber, and then you can also switch out the hand holding the ornament, and then it holds a pumpkin for Halloween. So I think he just has a regular red lightsaber then. But he's not staying around until next Halloween. He's going.
He's a Renaissance man.
He really is.
He can do it all.
Yeah. Well, after that tantalizing game, Welcome to everyone who's new here. In case you're just joining us for the first time, we are two festive, spooky ladies who love ghosts, cryptids, the weird, and the unexplained.
Oh, yeah. We are fully aware we don't know anything or really understand what's happening with any of this spooky stuff.
Fully aware. 100%. We're aware of our unawareness.
I mean, and there's something to be said for that.
Yeah,
You know,
we're honest.
We embrace that, and that's what makes us so endearing.
That's right. But we have a deep respect for the unknown and unseen forces at work around us. We make sure to keep it light as we laugh our way through the scary. We hope to bring you stories that make you question what you know and send shivers up your spine. But a quick warning before we begin. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Our tales are drawn from folklore, history, and reported experiences, but we don't claim them as fact. Some stories may include sensitive topics, so listener discretion is advised. Settle in and let's get festive with another spooky holiday story.
Dive into the shadows with us as we bring you haunting tales in this episode of the You Two Scare Me podcast. Shall we dive in? High in the snow-covered Alps, when the nights stretch long in the time between Christmas and Epiphany, something ancient is said to walk the valleys and forests.
Ooh.
She goes by many names. Frau Perchta. I listened to a translation of that before we started, so hopefully that's how we pronounce it.
Yeah, we'll go with it.
Berchta, Bertha, or the White Lady. And she is a protector and a punisher. To the good, she brings blessings. To the disobedient, she brings terror.
Ooh. Terror.
Tonight we're diving into the chilling story of Frau Perchta, a figure who is far older than Christianity itself, a powerful pagan goddess who is considered to be the symbol of female wisdom and divinity, who then morphed into something else, probably as a result of men.
Recurring theme throughout history.
Frau Perchta originates from the Alpine regions of Austria, Bavaria, Switzerland, and northern Italy. Her name comes from the old High German word berat. I don't know if that's true.
Okay.
Correct, but meaning bright or shining, and she is sometimes referred to as the bright one. Scholars believe Frau Perchta was once a powerful pre-Christian winter goddess. In these early beliefs, Perchta was a guardian of women's work, especially spinning flax during the long winter months. Households that honored her by keeping order and completing their spinning were rewarded.
Oh.
But those who disrespected her laws were said to suffer gruesome consequences.
Uh-oh.
More on this later.
Oh, fun fact.
One of the most unsettling aspects of Frau Perchta is her dual nature. Frau Perchta is associated with a lot of duality and kind of in-between things.
Okay.
She was associated with the time between one year and the next, beauty and hideousness, reward and punishment, punisher and protector, life and death. She was said to be the guardian of nature and beasts, the one who taught mortals to spin and weave cloth, and the protector of women, children, and the souls of babies who died unbaptized. Frau Perchta is deeply entwined with one of Europe's most enduring supernatural legends, the Wild Hunt.
Ooh.
Do you know about this?
No.
The Wild Hunt is described across Germanic and Alpine folklore as a furious procession of spirits, spectral animals, and the restless dead.
Oh.
Sweeping through the skies or racing across mountain passes during winter nights.
Oh my gosh, it's like Game of Thrones with the White Walkers.
Oh,
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
oh my gosh.
That's
okay.
what I'm imagining.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I had a similar picture in my head, accompanied by some like flying things. And so I love that. Okay, that's a good visual.
Yeah.
Witnesses throughout history reported thunderous wind, crashing branches, and unearthly cries echoing through the valleys.
Ooh.
In Alpine regions, Perchta is not merely a participant. She is often the judge and the organizer of the hunt.
Oh.
In these traditions, Frau Perchta leads the hunt during the 12 nights, commanding a group that may include the souls of those who died improperly or violently, unbaptized or forgotten children, shape-shifting spirits wearing animal skins. It's a little like flesh pedestrian connection. And bell-wearing beings later reflected in Perchtan masks. So this little like Krampus kind of tie-in.
And they were saying that Krampus kind of originated in this time or whatever. Oh, it's all tied together.
So unlike other versions of the wild hunt that were led by Odin or other male figures, Perchta's hunt is moral in nature. It doesn't merely roam, it inspects. Homes that are found disorderly, disrespectful, or spiritually neglected were said to be marked.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Uh-oh.
In the following year, families might suffer illness, crop failure, or sudden death. Historical accounts by people who claim to witness the wild hunt consistently described deafening wind when no storm clouds were present, hearing the clanging of bells and chains, finding hoofbeats where no animals stood, and having dogs who refused to leave the barns and whimpered in terror.
They're like, we're not going out there.
Yeah, so this is another, instance where you're like, oh, the dog won't do that, neither will I. Yeah, no. You gotta believe those dogs.
Yeah.
Villagers were warned never to look directly at the hunt. Those who did were said to be struck blind, driven mad, or compelled to join it. In some tales, Perchta herself is glimpsed walking just ahead of the hunt, tall, white-clad, her face obscured, turning only once as if she's aware she's being watched. So I'm picturing like a over-the-shoulder, like, side eye.
Yeah. It's kind of also like The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. That evil queen lady, just like very regal and no nonsense. Ooh.
Yeah. In some tales, Perchta appears as a tall, radiant woman dressed in white, her face calm and pale, almost glowing. She moves silently through snow-covered villages, peering into homes during the 12 nights, the period between December 25th and January 6th. Children who were obedient and hardworking were said to receive gifts of silver coins, sometimes left in their shoes.
Okay.
In other stories, the darker, hideous Perchta appears. She is said to be monstrous, with one webbed foot, a wrinkled face, a hooked nose, and hollow eyes. This version of Perchta carries a knife or an iron tool.
Ooh.
So remember the teaser I gave earlier that those who don't abide by her rules will suffer consequences?
Yeah.
Perchta's punishment is infamous. Children or adults who lied, disobeyed, or failed to follow her rules would be cut open, their organs removed, and replaced with straw, stones, or garbage.
Wow.
Yeah, she's not playing.
No.
This gruesome imagery was later emphasized by Christian authorities, who reframed Perchta as a demonic figure to discourage pagan traditions.
Oh.
Always vilifying strong women, am I right?
Yeah. Right. Am I right? All she was doing was cutting them open and stuffing them with straw.
She had her expectations.
Yeah.
And one of the most fascinating aspects of the Frau Perchta legend is that she's still celebrated or appeased today. Each winter, Alpine villages hold Perchtenlauf festivals. Is that the same as the Krampus?
Yeah, it's Krampuslauf.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Participants wear terrifying masks, animal hides, and bells parading through the streets. And there are two types of Perchten.
Okay.
There's, oh gosh, I am so sorry in advance for this pronunciation.
Okay.
Like, fair warning.
Oh gosh.
Schönperchten, beautiful Perchten representing blessings and fertility. So that would be, when she's this white luminous figure. And then the Schiakperchten,
Wow.
Ugly demonic figures meant to chase away evil spirits. So these masks, when you see them, are really similar to our pal Krampus.
Yeah. I think that sometimes they combine. I think they sometimes go together, because when I was reading about Krampus, I was sort of looking to see if women participate in that. And they were saying that the women do
The Frau Perchta.
Perchta. Yeah.
So yeah, so they're really similar, at least to what was in my mind of what Krampus looks like, with like the big horns and
fur and all of that. Or like pelts.
Yeah.
Right. As their costume and stuff like that. Yeah.
But they do say that Frau Perchta is older and more ancient.
Yeah. I think Krampus was sort of based on these Perchten.
While these festivals are often framed as cultural celebrations, many locals insist they are rooted in genuine belief. Some say the masks aren't just costumes, they're invitations.
Ooh.
There are quiet warnings among villagers. Don't wear the mask lightly. Something might wear you back.
That's scary. Oh my gosh.
Medieval church documents repeatedly mention Frau Perchta, often condemning belief in her as heresy. In the 15th century, clerics warned that women who claimed to follow Perchta during the 12 nights were servants of the devil. It's recorded that some confessions describe nightly processions through the forests, encounters with a woman in white who judged households, and spirits entering homes through chimneys. Which I was like, what?
Interesting.
There's a lot of crossover with so many things. And I think it's really hard to sort of untangle where one story starts and another begins. Or
I agree.
ends and another begins.
Yeah. Well, because probably most of this was oral tradition handed down. And so the stories probably just literally melded into each other over the centuries or over the generations,
The church attempted to erase Perchta by renaming her and transforming her from a powerful goddess into a demonic winter witch. But the stories never vanished. Reports linked to Frau Perchta and her crew continue to surface, especially in rural Alpine regions. So, because I think you mentioned this in our last episode, there's a lot of people putting their stories out there now, right? Sharing on various mediums.
Yeah.
So some of these stories are written and recorded. And so these are stories that people have shared.
Okay.
This is from 1987 in the Austrian Alps. There was a solo hiker near Salzkammergut. Did you like that?
Yeah. So good.
That reported encountering a tall woman dressed in white, standing silently at the edge of a frozen clearing. As dusk fell, he noticed her feet were misshapen, webbed, almost bird-like. A sudden, unnatural wind swept through the trees, and the woman vanished without leaving footprints. He later described intense dread that lasted for weeks.
Oh, man.
I mean, I'm pretty sure if I was, in the middle of the woods and saw this any figure that just vanished, I'd be looking over my shoulder for weeks.
Yeah, for sure.
This next one comes from Bavaria in 2004. A farming family claimed to experience disturbances during the 12 nights. They said that there was livestock that refused to go into the barns. Children had dreams of a knife woman inspecting their home and other weird stuff. On January 6th, deep gouge marks were found in the wooden door that they later attributed to animals, though no animals were ever seen. So remember, that's kind of her reign, that time. This comes from Tyrol, Austria in 2011. Multiple villagers reported hearing bells and heavy footsteps in the forest on a moonless January night. One witness claimed to see several tall figures moving against the wind, accompanied by a woman in white at the front. Forest officials found broken branches high above human reach the next morning.
Oh my goodness.
That makes me think about the hunt, right? And I don't know, that gives me a little bit of a chill. I don't know.
Cool. Yeah.
This one comes from Switzerland in 2016. I'm trying to perch and lauf.
You sound like the Swedish chef from the Muppets.
I was thinking about the guy from Frozen who works at the little like thing.
Oh, yeah. The sauna or whatever. Yeah. That's funny.
During a Perchta and Lauf festival, a masked participant collapsed, later claiming he felt something breathing inside his mask, moving his body against his will. He reported hearing whispered instructions from a female voice telling him to walk the old road.
Oh, gosh.
He refused to ever wear the mask again.
She probably was like, give this mask to a girl. It's supposed to be a girl. What are you doing?
Take off this mask, boy. This one is from Germany in 2019. A couple was driving through a mountain pass during a winter storm and reported seeing figures running alongside their car, pale, elongated, and ringing with bell-like sounds. Dashcam footage showed only heavy wind and snow, but the audio captured unexplained rhythmic clanging.
Ooh.
That's a little spooky.
Yeah.
That one gives me a little chill too.
Yeah.
Ooh. This one is from Austria in 2022. A local historian collecting folklore interviews reported that several elderly residents independently described the same childhood memory, being warned indoors during certain nights because Berchta was counting. None had discussed the stories with each other beforehand. Doctors and officials attributed these experiences to weather, exhaustion, or cultural memory. The witnesses do not.
Whoa.
So I could go both ways on that one, because if they're elderly, then probably their parents would have had a lot of the same traditions.
Sure, and they were telling,
But still, it's a little unnerving if they all have the same story, right?
Yeah.
Is Frau Perchta a memory of a forgotten goddess, twisted into horror by centuries of fear? Is she a cultural warning, a symbol used to enforce obedience and morality? Or is she something older, a seasonal entity, a goddess tied to winter itself, appearing when the world grows quiet and thin? What makes her legend endure is this: Perchta doesn't haunt ruins, she visits homes. As winter deepens and the year turns, remember the old rules. Finish your work, be honest, respect the quiet of the season. Because if the stories are true, Frau Perchta may still be watching.
I feel like one thing that, in all of these winter stories, these like European winter stories, it's like a common theme is order. You need to be orderly. You need to be hardworking, doing your work, be obedient. I feel like that is such a huge theme in the cultural mindset or whatever that, like those are the things that are important to society or were and still are today. I would say, like if you go to Germany, there are certain ways that you're expected to, if you do anything weird, they're going to like stare at you. You know what I mean? If you like do anything out of the ordinary, there are like certain expectations for being orderly and doing what you're supposed to do. And so I feel like a lot of these are tools for teaching kids to do those things.
Absolutely.
But then also I always have to go back to like they came from somewhere, you know?
And I really do love the idea of this powerful goddess, that would, the mama side of me, she's like, these babies who died before they were baptized come to me, children, like she's a caretaker of sorts, but she's like, oh, you're a jerk. No.
Yeah. It's like, also it's so ancient, that yin and yang and balance, and you know what I mean? It's these themes are just in every aspect of society. There's something about that, honoring nature and punishing those who don't do the right thing or whatever. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's cool. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, I don't know, Frau Perchta, but when I read about, and then she'll just cut open the belly and stuff it full of, straw and stones and garbage. I was like, yikes. Oh, okay.
Well, do your chores.
Yeah.
Pick up your room, kids.
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
Don't be a jerk.
Yeah. I mean.
And then you'll be fine.
Yeah. It's like even little Tomten. That's what his, thing was too, Do what you're supposed to do. Okay. Are you ready for Somebody Told Me?
I'm so ready.
Okay. I have Evita's story. And you're going to like this one because it's from a teacher.
Oh,
it's a school
okay.
story.
Ooh.
So Evita says, here's my story from when I was a classroom teacher. This happened around Christmas time and it was very cold outside. So back when I was a teacher in San Antonio, I worked at this older elementary school that sits pretty close to a cemetery. I used to get there really early, around 6:30 in the morning, because my daughter was babysat at the time, and that was the only way I could actually get work done before the day started.
We hear you.
We've been there, yeah. One morning, I pull into the parking lot and I see one of my former students, a little second grader, sitting outside alone in the dark.
Oh.
And it's early. It's still kind of cold, no sun yet. Definitely not safe for a little girl to be sitting out there by herself.
Oh, poor baby.
So I unlocked the door and let her in. And I said, hey, sit right here on this bench by the office, okay? I'm going to go to my room to make some copies. Just stay here inside where nobody can bother you. She nodded, looked up at me real quiet, and I went upstairs. A little while later, staff moved the kids to the cafeteria to wait with everyone else. When I went to pick up my class, she came up to me and said, who is that lady that walked behind you and went upstairs with you?
Oh, no, immediate chills.
I said, what lady?
What?
And she goes, when you left me sitting there, a lady walked right behind you. She didn't say anything, not to you, not to me. She just looked at me. She didn't even smile, and then she followed you upstairs. Now, I was completely alone in that hallway. Later, I tell my head custodian, who reaches out to the assistant principal, and they check the cameras. So, she took it seriously enough that they checked the cameras. They go through every angle, every timestamp. There was no one. No woman behind me, no movement beside me. The only other person on campus at that time was the head custodian, and he was on the other side of the building, all documented on video. The little girl swears someone followed me. The cameras say no one was there. And since that morning, I never walked those early hallway steps the same way again. I ended up leaving the school a few years after that experience. But I will always wonder who that lady was and why she didn't smile at that little girl.
Oh my gosh. I have chills.
Isn't that crazy?
I have so many questions.
Me too. Thank you for sending that in, Evita.
That was awesome. But why didn't you smile, ghost?
Right. Who was it? But it was by the cemetery. The school was next to the cemetery.
Okay.
It could have been anything, anybody.
Could have been someone from there. Could have been maybe a guardian of Evita.
Mm-hmm.
Who just kind of goes along with her. I want to know, what did she look like? What was she wearing? I would have pumped that little girl for so much information.
And I wonder if it was I wonder if the little girl saw other things.
Oh my gosh. I just had a flashback to one of my previous students. Oh my gosh.
What?
Okay. He was just
looking at you,
frozen and staring. And I said, hey, what's going on? And he's like, the man in the hallway.
Oh.
And I was like, excuse me? What? Anyway, then he started drawing these weird pictures of these guys who had just black eyes and all this stuff. And he said that they looked like soldiers. And long story short, English was his second language. Mm-hmm. And his parents had come from Vietnam. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And his grandparents were involved in Vietnam and that whole thing. Mm-hmm. And he'd heard a lot of stories. So I don't know if it was a familial something with him, but it wasn't all the time, but it was a couple times. And he started drawing those pictures and I was like, oh my gosh.
That's crazy.
So scary. And he would just be like,
oh my God, poor kid.
I know.
That's really scary.
So scary.
Yeah.
Oh,
wow.
Sorry. Man, kids see things,
They do. Yeah, of course. They're more open to that world, I think.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't been told that not to believe it yet,
Yeah.
Anyway, well, thank you, Evita. That is crazy. That is a wild story.
Oh my gosh. I'd be checking over my shoulder every time I'm walking up those stairs.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. No kidding. I mean, to take it seriously enough to go and check all the video footage, that's pretty big.
I hope nobody made that little girl get in trouble.
Yeah. I don't know. It seemed like they believed her.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Oh my gosh.
that's
Whew.
crazy.
Well, thank you for that story, Avita. And thank you so much for listening to this episode of the You Two Scare Me podcast. Have you checked out our website, you2scaremepodcast.com? You can find blog posts for each episode and maybe some merch if you have some last minute Christmas gifts to get.
Absolutely. Listeners, do you like what you hear? Help us reach more ears by sharing the show with your friends and family, subscribing to our YouTube channel, and of course, joining our Patreon. Your support means so much to us.
Maybe you could ask to be a Patreon member for Christmas.
That's a great idea. The link is in the show notes. Check it out.
Yeah, or you could ask for some You Two Scare Me podcast merch.
Yeah. Send people to our website.
Yeah.
Do it. Just do it.
You don't want Frau Perchta to come after.
Yeah.
You can also help us by rating and reviewing us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, Amazon, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Don't forget to check out our social media. Find us on Instagram at you2scareme_podcast, on our Facebook page, You2Scare You can even follow us on TikTok. Just search You2Scare podcast, no spaces.
Remember to send us your own spooky stories, just like Avita did for our Somebody Told Me segment at you2scaremepodcast@gmail.com. That's YOUTWO scaremepodcast@gmail.com.
Thanks for wandering through the shadows with us.
Happy holidays, everyone. Be honest, do your chores, and beware what lurks beyond the light.